Okay, so here we are. First thing we want to do is start up Pro Tools. So I'm going to go to the bottom here and click. You can already tell that I have opened it. Give me one moment. I'm going to make it so we can zoom in on things. Okay, great. So you can see here I've already opened it because the little dots on the bottom. So just click it. Up here on the menu bar appears, and we go to File and Create New. Great. So we can name this, let's just name it Demo. And down here, our sample rate and bit depth is going to be 96 and 24-bit interleaved. That looks good. If I press create, it'll prompt me a location. I like it on the desktop, so I'll press save. And here's my window. Now, the first thing you want to do is make sure your playback engine's in the right place. So this just means we're utilizing the right interface for Pro Tools to have signal come into it and signal come out. So you're going to go up to Setup and Playback Engine. And then I'm using the Universal Audio for now, but I want you to always have HDX. HDX is our main Pro Tools interface that we're going to use for recording. But because I'm using a microphone to record on the screen as well as in Pro Tools, I'm going to use it on Universal Audio. Great. Don't worry about any of this. Just, if it looks like this, you're good. And remember, if you wanted to record like MIDI instruments, you want to have it on a lower buffer size. So I'll press OK. This looks good. So the project that we're going to be getting is doing a commercial spot. And so a couple things we need to know how to import music, but more importantly is how to record our voices. So we don't have any tracks. So let's go ahead and track and new. Voices are going to be a mono input. So it's one mono audio track. We go create. And voila, there it is. Right away, I'm going to double click on the title bar. I'm going to name it Lucas Vox or Lucas's voice because Vox is Latin for voice, and that's me. Now over here, if you're plugged in to channel 1 on the Snake, which is the box in the live room, you're going to want to set it up so that this is listening to that channel. So for me, it says line 1. On the HDX, it'll probably say input 1 or line 1, and if that's the case, you're good. So over here, I'm talking into the microphone. I notice that I have my preamp up, but I'm not hearing anything. So there are these two buttons. I is input monitor, and the other button is track record enable. So input monitor means that it's always going to listen for what's coming through the microphone, whether I'm recording or not. So here we can see that I'm getting some signal. Yay, yeah, cool. Now, if I turn this off, I'm not getting anything, and I turn this on, I'll get signal here too. So let's go ahead and record. So I have it enabled. I'll press record over here and play. Check 1 2, check 1 2, test checking 1 2. Cool, and so we're getting some signal, and I'm not peaking. Right on. Now, if I play this and I leave this on, we will only hear what was recorded if the cursor is going over the recorded clip. So let me demonstrate. So I play.
Check 1
So
2.
I'm talking
check
right
1
now,
2. Test
but
checking
you'll
1
notice
2.
that it's not picking
Cool,
up
and so we're
my
getting
voice
some
from the mic.
signal,
It's playing the
and
recording.
I'm not peaking.
Now if I do I and play, notice that it's not listening to the recording. It's listening to what's going through my microphone. So my rule of thumb is if you are recording and the artist does not need to hear themselves, leave these two buttons on. If the artist does want to hear themselves, you'll turn off the I. Don't press record here, and then just press play.
Check 1 2.
And then they should be able to
1
hear
2.
this signal.
Test checking 1 2. Cool, and so we're getting some.
Cool. So that's one take. Now I want to keep this take and record another take. so I can have multiple takes of my voice. So let's say I'm doing a sunblock commercial. So I'm going to double click this, and I can actually rename this. So I like how it says 01. I'll keep that there. You'll notice now if I want to add another take, there is this playlist selector, and I click it, and we have an option that says new. So I'm going to click on new, and I'm going to press OK. And so now here it says Lucas Vox 0.01. So it cleared it out, and it still exists. It's just not showing. So let me do a take here. So record and play. Sunblock. It protects your skin from the sun. Okay, so that was one take. Maybe I want a little bit more energy, so I'll click try this again, and you'll notice that now we have 2 takes, and I can go back and forth between them. I'm going to press new. Try it again. Sunblock. Protects your skin from the sun. So now here I have another take. So like you can do as many takes as you want, and then in the future, when you want to listen back to them, we have this window here called the track view selector. Right now we're viewing the waveform, but if you click it, we have all these different options: volume, mute, pan. So we'll talk about automation in the future, but for now I'm going to click on playlists, and you'll notice now here's all my multiple takes. So if I listen to this top one, you know, I can listen here.
Protects
But
your
maybe I
skin
want to listen
from the
to the
sun.
second take. I can click this S.
Cool, and so we're
And
getting
now
some
I'm listening
signal,
to this
and I'm
take,
not peaking.
and so on and so forth. So these S's switch between each take. Cool? So quick summary, you want to make sure your playback engine is actually set to the HDX. You want to make sure that your input is on the same channel that you plugged in on the snake. Make sure to record enable it when you want to record. Press record and then play. And we have our track view selector to be able to view different track views, and in this case I have on playlist.